All right, you're all set. Good to go.
All right. All right. Good evening and welcome to the OGAT committee meeting of September 8th. I'm the chairman, Saul Silverstein. We have with us tonight Mike Muddett, committee member, Ron Davis, coordinator, Marlene Silverstein, committee secretary, Chris Kelly, assistant coordinator, with no video, Bob Kelly, and on the phone, Gary Del Piano, both of whom are committee members. The first item on the agenda is questions and comments. Does anyone have any questions or comments?
Nope. I don't.
Gary?
No, I don't.
Okay. All right, got it. Thank you. Next item is to approve the minutes of the August 11th meeting. I'll take a motion to approve.
Motion made.
I heard Gary first and then Mike Muddett second. Thank you. Anyone need some time to review them or are we all set?
All set.
All set. Okay, all in favor of approving the minutes? Say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Everybody approved? Thank you. Next item is the budget. I've sent you all a copy of the budget. So the first page is the town budget, the money that we received from the town of Orange in terms of expenditures. So far in miscellaneous supplies and equipment, we spent 24% of it. The recording secretary, 10% spent. Professional service coordinator, 25%. Assistant coordinator, 24%. And the camera operator, 7%. The second page is a single line, and it just shows $3,060 expenditure. That was part of the Cable Advisory Council grant. That was funds we expended for renewing our Telview services for a year. And we'll talk about the rest of the grant when we get to that line item in our agenda. Any questions on the budget?
No.
Okay, coordinator report. Ron, you were having some difficulty opening it?
I can't get it open.
Can't get it open? Okay, I'll go through it then. So in July, we had 8 meetings. I'm sorry. In July, we had 8 meetings and 2 other events. In August, we had 10 meetings and no special events. So far, for the first 2 months of the fiscal year, we've had 18 meetings, 2 special events, total of 20 programs, which if you project it out, it shows 120 programs projected for the year. That's a little lower. We typically run about 180 to 200. That'll pick up after the summer's over, I'm assuming. In terms of statistics.
Excuse me, may I make one comment? You have other events, August 0, but you had the Fireman's Carnival and the
Yes, and
is in August.
it was recorded, but not
Was not aired.
on the list of programs.
Okay, just checking.
That probably should have gone on the list of programs. You recorded certain events for that, right, Chris?
Yep.
Yeah.
So that, okay.
And there was something else you recorded in August that should have gone on, I think, which is the Historical Society.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so there's actually some extra programs, 2 more programs that should be on that list. And we can amend the coordinator's report for that when we vote on it. It did get mentioned at the bottom of at the end of the report, by the way. Good point, Marlene. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, in terms of hits on the streams, live hits on the Teleview Cloudcast, we had 152 during August. Video on demand, 166. And on YouTube, the total of live plus video on demand hits was 516. Comments, activities at the Orange Volunteer Firemen's Carnival and the Craft and Game Day event hosted by the Orange Historical Society were recorded for later broadcast. Those are the 2 items that we have to amend the report for. Assistant Kelly continued editing the bicentennial interviews and creating flash drives of the individual interviews. Several flash drives were handed out to the interviewees as they were completed. This effort will continue until all participants receive copies of their interviews, and feedback from the interviewees will be used in creating the final consolidated program. The OGAT studio has been functioning properly, and there are no issues to report currently. Are there any questions or comments on that report?
No, I'll make a motion to approve with the addition of the 2 meetings that were shot that were
Okay.
omitted.
And I heard Bob Kelly second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, I heard everybody say aye. Thank you. It is approved. Next item is action items. We tabled this last month because Chris was kind of buried with interviews and editing interviews. And I think that probably still went on during the month, correct? And so I think, shall we table it again?
Yes, please.
Okay. Next item is the CAC grant. So where we are with the CAC grant, we paid for the Teleview, as we mentioned before. We've ordered as much as we can order from B&H in New York, and we've received about $10,000 worth of equipment from B&H. And there's a bunch of equipment, which is probably another $10,000 or so, about $8,000 or $9,000. That is, some of which is back ordered, and they're not shipping any of it apparently until they get the back ordered stuff, because it's dependent on the stuff they have is the stuff that's back ordered. So today I got an email from them saying the back ordered stuff is still back ordered. We can't tell you when it's going to come in. Now, the other issue we had when we tried to order from B&H was there's a few items from Apple, actually, which is another computer, and there's another piece of equipment from Apple, a monitor, that B&H didn't even want to quote because Apple wouldn't give them a date when it would be available. So Chris is in the process of setting up an account with Apple because they apparently have those items in stock. So Chris has been working on this for a couple of weeks now. It seems to be a little bit of an involved process to set up the account properly. Hopefully they'll still have the items in stock when we're done. Chris, I know you had a question for me earlier in the day, and I asked you to ask the finance department about it. Where are we with that?
I haven't heard back from finance yet, but once I'll hear back from them tomorrow, and I'll have an answer so I can respond.
All right. Meanwhile, I've got invoices for the equipment we did get. Chris has checked out almost all of it, and it all works properly. The only thing he couldn't check out was a wireless microphone, and the batteries that power the microphone, and a few other things we're getting that is back ordered. So I think he may hop over the Board of Ed and test the microphone there, because we do have one of those wireless microphone systems up there, and this mic should work with them. And then I will probably be paying B&H in the next few days on that. Any questions on the CAC grant? Oh, one more thing. I'm sorry. We received more funds from the Cable Advisory Council than we requested. Apparently, what happened was the requests from the 6 towns, or the 4 towns that participate, plus Amity, did not total the $100,000 they had available. So they just divvied up the rest and gave each of the applicants an extra $1,600 to $1,700. So Chris is in the process of creating a new wish list to spend the additional $1,600 or so, $1,700 in funds. And once he has that, we will try and order that stuff. Now, any questions or comments on the CAC grant? Nope. Okay.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. Okay. Equipment inventory. We've been updating the
What was the total
inventory.
amount that we got?
Excuse me?
What is the total amount that we're getting?
It's about $10,000 worth of equipment.
No. What's the total we received with the extra funds from the CAC grant?
The total in extra funds was about $1,650. Those are the extra
No,
funds.
but what was the total amount of funds that we got from the CAC grant, the total CAC grant?
Yeah,
What we
the,
requested plus the
Total.
extra.
We hang on a second. I gotta go find it.
Marlene's on it.
Okay, Town of Orange received $32,198.
That's
So
with
we
the
saved the town of
600.
Orange over $32,000.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's the wrong date. The Town of Orange this year received $29,655.37.
Is that with the extra 1650?
Yes, that was your total.
So that's the amount we saved the town of Orange
Right.
by
Correct.
being
And
diligent.
if you recall last month, we talked about the annual report and Gary made the suggestion, and Mike Muddett agreed with that suggestion that we include a statement of how much money we have saved the town since the grants began. And I put that figure in the annual report. And I sent you all a copy of it. So you should know what that total figure was, like $180,000 in all the years that we've had the grant. That's the total we've received that we've saved the town of Orange.
That's excellent.
It's awesome.
Okay.
Back from the cable bills.
And since that report did not include this grant year, because the report was at the end was for last year, next year it'll be that extra 30,000 will be in there for this
And
year.
we're about to say we're over 200,000. Then that's awesome.
Yeah.
All thanks to the Cable Advisory Council.
Great.
I'm sorry. It's actually large in our, we have received in excess of $250,000, not 180. I just looked at the report again. So it's even better than I thought. Great.
Well, can't complain too much about that. The town of
No,
Orange.
$250,000. No.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not even from tax money. It's what do you call it? It's all from
It's all subscriber money that funds all of it.
subscriber bills.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, now that's CAC grant. Any other questions on that?
Nope, that was it. Thank you.
Okay. Equipment inventory. So as we've received equipment from B&H, the equipment inventory has been updated with that. So that's as up to date as it can be. Any questions on the inventory? Nope. And the last item on the agenda is committee vacancies, and I have heard nothing from the first selectman's office about any additional people to fill the vacancies. So we muddle on, I guess, as best we can.
Make sure to mark that meeting date in your calendars.
What is the next meeting date, please?
It should be October, I'm assuming October 13th. It would normally be October 6th, but I think because it's so close to the beginning of the month, we make it the second Thursday, just to give the coordinators time to write the report and get all the data together.
Yeah.
I can look it up if you just give me a second.
While you're doing that, Chris, could you give us just a quick update on the interviews and that production? How's that going?
It's good. The interviews are at the point where all the participants are receiving their flash drives. I think Saul mentioned it a little bit in the beginning, but we're all, the goal is to get the participants the flash drives very quickly so that they can review it, give us any feedback, and then we were thinking about putting all of the interviews up on YouTube for people to watch, because we're getting a lot of comments from the participants saying that they want to see everyone's interview and they want to have the option to pick and watch different ones. So that's where we're at now. My plan for finishing, so next week around middle of the week, Wednesday, I plan to get all the flash drives out to the participants, and then we're actually planning on showcasing the interviews at the country fair. We talked about possibly doing that if there's time and we can set something up. We'd like to have maybe a portable display that we can roll over to an area where there's nearby power, plug it in, and have the interviews kind of playing throughout the country fair. We thought that'd be a pretty good way to showcase them. And as long as we're on track with getting the flash drives done, we give ourselves enough time to hear some people's feedback. And I think we should be able to do that for the country fair. So we're looking forward to that.
So what was the outcome of, like, is there like going to be like a large video or episodes, or what's being produced for OGAT?
Well, we were thinking, because the participants are giving us such good feedback about their interviews, we were thinking about just putting all the interviews up and having the ability to watch all of them. And then we are still putting together a final piece that will encompass all of the interviews plus other maybe some little. We were thinking about maybe throwing in some drone shots of the town and having some just maybe have some B-roll to put over the interview, if we have the time to do so.
The program you're talking about isn't the complete interview for each participant. It's some consolidation, bits and pieces of the interviews, right?
Yes, it's like a summary, and it's supposed to sort of highlight, what it was like growing up in the town, back when things were a lot different.
I must say, not 200 years ago, because, well, that shouldn't happen.
Yeah, well, it's there's a lot of talk about what the Boston Post Road was like, when some of these interviewees were young and they were kids. They talk about their childhood, and there's a lot of people that we interviewed that actually grew up on the Boston Post Road, which is very rare. I don't think there's any houses on the Post Road now, but there's a lot of similarities between the interviews, and we're finding things that we can sort of focus on, and everyone that we interviewed will have something to say in terms of providing for this final piece.
So the one thing I want to say to that is, I think you'll lose a lot of attention to the combo piece if you let the interviews out first. Right? I personally, if I have to, then again, like, it's more of an attention span thing. If I'm watching 4 or 5 hours worth of interviews, I'm not going to watch the culmination. I saw all the interviews. I don't care. Right. So I think from at least OGAT's perspective, I don't care. It doesn't matter to me if they go to the country fair, but from an OGAT perspective, I think the final piece has to be out, and then we can slowly release or quickly release. I don't care, as long as we, can still show meetings and stuff, the other ones. But I think the final piece has to be the first piece on OGAT.
It's got to be
So
kind of
when
like.
you say OGAT, I just want to make sure. So there's like our programming schedule, our cycle of programming that we show throughout the day, our 24-hour programming. You're talking about, saving, waiting to show the interviews there, right? And showing the final piece first on because my thinking was getting the interviews up on YouTube as quickly as possible, so that they can be seen.
Yeah, again, just from an attention span thing, I think we're going to lose a lot of the people watching our main produced piece if we do that. But it's up to the committee. I think, again, at least the goal, my understanding of the goal originally of this was to produce a video that kind of had a story or an editorial, not like, kind of just wove together, right? Whether it be, farming and the subjects and the kind of stuff. Again, I'm sure there was a lot of great interviews and a lot of things, and I'm sure we want to see all of it. But if we don't put out the first part where we did all the work and put it together and made it, the really, attention span seeking, like, all the interesting stuff together in one video, I think we'll see a lot of people click, who they know as far as interviews, and then not bother to watch the last one.
Right. I totally see that. And I
Can
guess,
I make a comment? I agree with what Mike is saying, and I think at the end of that main, fold of everybody's interviews, you just at the end say, if you wish to see individual interviews, go to YouTube.
Yeah, unedited
Right.
videos. Yeah.
yeah.
That's a good idea.
So we, we are trying to obviously be considerate of that, and but I think another important aspect of this is we're trying to also help the interviewees out and give them a way to watch their peers, because, and especially in the circle of interviewees, they all want to see their peers, and maybe we could do something for them, privately, that we don't showcase, that to make sure that they can see everyone's interview. Maybe there's a way we can
Put them
privately
up on,
You can
post
make,
these.
you can post things on YouTube without making it public. You can make
Yeah, put
private
them on
links and
YouTube.
stuff.
Yeah, and I think I want to try to make it so that the interviewees are happy and they can see everyone, and I want them to see it relatively soon, because I'm getting a lot of feedback from people saying that they want to see their friends, they want to see this person, that person. So in terms of just making the interviewees happy, I do want to try to help them and make that a priority.
So then let's back up a second. So when are you thinking the final edited together copy is going to be done? It sounds like from that last statement that you're thinking that's like we're still months away.
Yeah, we're probably about. I mean, my goal was Thanksgiving, maybe, for that final piece.
Because I think our goal originally set was August for the country fair. So I think we're missing our goal.
We are missing our goal for the final piece. We have. I mean, it's a big project, and to find the time to keep up with our daily OGAT activities and to get this project, moving along. It was a little bit ambitious to make the final piece available before the country fair.
I mean, we talked about how ambitious this was, but don't get me wrong. I think we're all the committee was on the same page as that. I think we had too many interviewees and too many. I get what we're trying to do. We're trying to document the town's history and get as much as we can, but we bit off a lot. So I guess I understand keeping the interviewees happy and making sure they see everything. It's really it's flat out, we're letting out behind the scenes before we let out the production, right? So again, it's not like it's it's all documentation, it's all but if it's, to me, it's I don't know, it's the lazy way out, in the sense that we're not putting together our final product. We're just kind of releasing the behind the scenes tape, unrotted and unedited footage first. So I get it. I want to keep them happy too, and we appreciate all the efforts they did to do the interviews. It's just it's backwards from every video production value that I've ever been taught.
Also, if think about it, when they make movies or documentaries, they do the filming, but the final product never comes out for a year or two.
Oh yeah,
filming. So this is not outside the realm of reality.
Yeah,
time-wise, to have it done by Thanksgiving now.
No, and honestly, I mean, I've been on this project like full throttle, 110%. So, yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
and please understand, Chris, I'm not,
a lot.
I'm not having a problem with the fact that we're going to go till Thanksgiving, right? That's that. I would hate to see us trying to produce all of these little videos, and not little, but you know what I mean, the unedited stuff, take away from the time we need to launch the final product, and it's made it backwards, right? So now we're delaying till Thanksgiving because we're trying to find ways to get all these little videos out.
Chris, are you going to prepare something like the Orange 150 for the bicentennial? Not to say just interviews, but there's the parade and all the activities that went on.
Mhm.
Is that going to be a video?
You're saying you want all of the events from this year's bicentennial in one piece?
I mean, no, I mean, I mean, like, I don't want it all edited together, but like you were talking about B-roll, that'd be awesome B-roll, right? Like, here's this festival, here's this. They did 30 events for this, the 200th anniversary. We got video of a lot of them.
Yeah, Bob Reed spent 2 years doing the 150.
All right,
Yeah.
so let me jump in for a second. So this seems to be two things now. We've got a bunch of individual interviews that Chris is struggling to get out. He's working digitally to get out in the next month or so. And then there's a consolidated program of those interviews with some B-roll footage. And then Ron asked, is there also going to be another program which is similar to the Orange 150 program and the Orange 175 program, which is just a consolidation of all the bicentennial events? Was that a plan?
I mean, that's up to you guys. You can absolutely do that. In terms of priorities, I think that's lower on the priority list. And I think that if we wanted to do that, we can absolutely do that, but we have to just be a little bit realistic about, what we have going on now. And I think that's something that could be better for later down the road. Because like we said, how long did it take Bob Reed to do this?
2 years.
2 years, right?
Yeah, so I'm not saying do it tomorrow, Chris. I'm just asking, is that part of the plan? And should it be part of the plan? And the timing of that clearly would take quite a while. And what I'm afraid of is the timing of the interviews as a consolidated program may also take quite a bit longer than you think it's going to take.
Yeah.
I mean, you're looking for feedback currently from the interviewees, and you plan to use that somehow to mold the program. And this could stretch out well beyond Thanksgiving, for all we know. And then Mike makes the point that, well, if you publish all the interviews now, no one's going to watch that consolidated program. They're just going to watch the one or two interviews that they were interested in. That's it.
Yeah.
You know,
That's my
so
concern.
a little bit of a quandary there about how to do this properly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, believe me, I'm not saying we shouldn't give the interviews to the interviewees to get their feedback. Like if somebody, I don't want to embarrass anybody that's doing this interview, right? So if there's something they don't like about the interview, if there's something that they don't want on the consolidated tape, 100%, they need to see it. They need to tell us what they think of their interview before we put anything into the final program. So I'm not saying don't give them the things, but the whole like putting it somewhere so everybody can see each other's is just going to make the final product completely unviewed.
Okay. We're getting back to OGAT. I spoke with a viewer from Orange, a citizen that was concerned. She doesn't have Cablevision, and she uses the other one. I know it's
Here,
Frontier, yeah.
and apparently you're only putting the meetings on. I haven't found anything that has anything to do with just meetings. There's no other. I guess that's the word.
I don't know what
Like
you're
a
asking.
parade or and then that stuff is appearing on YouTube. Do you just run meetings?
So what does she use? This
Well,
particular person?
she wanted to see the parade.
She wanted to see the parade. Now,
Yeah.
does she? You're saying
And I
she
don't-
uses Frontier, or she uses?
Well, I didn't know how to answer that because I don't think you run it anywhere. Have you?
The parade was run on OGAT. It is in our Cloudcast. I don't think it's on YouTube.
Yes.
It didn't make it on YouTube, and I think it might have been a copyright thing. There was something it flagged for a copyright, and I couldn't figure out where I ended up just not putting it on YouTube.
My point is that I went through a number of months worth of stuff on OGAT, on YouTube, and it was all meetings. I didn't really see anything else.
Okay.
Chris, I'm
So you're
looking
saying
right
special
now, Chris, right now I am looking at the town website. I'm looking at YouTube and I don't even see the parade on YouTube. I think you said you can't do it. Is it available on the town website?
Yes.
Okay, so if I go to the town website and look at the videos,
Yeah,
Yep.
there it is.
right, videos.
Memorial Day ceremony. It's there. Number 4.
I'm looking at, I just opened up videos and I see bicentennial play is there. I see the concert, the 4th of July concert there. I see the bicentennial parade and dinner there. So the stuff is available on the OGAT page on the town website. So I don't know why she can't find it. If she's not using Cablevision, because she doesn't have it, if
No,
she's only using YouTube, it's not there.
I mean,
I'm
to clarify
looking
something,
at
right?
YouTube.
Hold on. So to clarify something, everything that goes on Cablevision goes on Frontier. We don't have 2 different live streams. Like that everything that is programmed and scheduled on Cablevision goes on Frontier. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Absolutely. Yep. Same
Yep.
thing.
So
Split.
I think all we're hearing, basically, if I'm understanding her feedback right, is she wants more special programs interweaving with the meetings.
It sounds like she's only looking on YouTube and she's not seeing the special programs on YouTube, right?
Maybe that, or that she's watching Frontier and only seeing meetings, right? So, I mean, again, looking at the schedule, yeah, the meetings are a lot of OGAT, right?
No,
I
but
mean, that's
special
what we're here for.
special programs are on OGAT all the time.
Yeah,
So,
and they're available as
She should-
video on
if she was
demand on
watching
OGAT.
Frontier, she would see them.
yeah.
And,
So,
and the
I
thing is,
mean,
they're available as video on demand on the town website.
Well,
yeah,
that's
so
something I could
there's
tell
2
her.
answers, right? They are shown on Frontier. She can watch them on the government channel on Frontier, or she can go onto the town website and view it through our stream there, or our video on demand service.
It was the March 2022.
Well, I didn't tell her that, and I should have.
Approved this,
That's okay. No, I mean, that's what we're here for, right? Answering those kind of questions.
when I was.
Yep. I think sometimes there's certain programs I don't put on YouTube just because they are very strict with their copyright stuff, and I tend to avoid that hassle. But other than that,
Yeah, I can see the
Only
concert,
for
the
YouTube
concerts
and-
that the concerts I'm sure get flagged. There's a lot of cover band stuff.
exactly.
So, Mr. Chairman, I think what we should do though is for the next couple of months, at least in our meetings, have the 200th anniversary production as an item on our agenda, and just make sure we're keeping Chris alive with our feedback. He's doing a lot of work. I'm not judging that, but I want to make sure we continue the feedback for him to make sure he's yeah, I'm sure he's hearing from the bicentennial committee too, but I want to make sure we keep it all focused.
All right. I'm just writing a note to myself.
Yep, no worries.
Okay, to add that to the agenda. Add the bicentennial activities to the agenda. Okay, great. Any other comments? I do have one question. I know when I was looking on YouTube, I noticed there was a TPZ meeting. I believe it was a TPZ meeting that there was an error in when it was uploaded and only showed the town logo and it didn't show the meeting. And then you added the meeting as a separate program, but you left that 16 seconds of town logo. Can't you remove that?
Yeah, I think I left it up because I was trying to get a view count, but I could delete it now. I
Yeah.
usually leave it up because I want to make sure I'm getting the amount of people that are trying to watch it.
Yeah, it's the August 2nd, it's the August 2nd TPZ meeting. And there's
August
a
2nd.
16-second clip of just, I think, the town logo. And then you put up the second program, which is in fact the whole hour and 20 minutes of that meeting. And
Yep.
it's
I
called
was doing-
Republished. It's called Republished.
Yes. All right. So let me take down the second one.
Yeah,
Or
okay.
the
The
wrong one.
16-second clip.
Yeah.
I didn't put that 16-second clip on the report.
No.
No, you didn't look on OGAT, on YouTube, Ron.
That's fine.
It's only on
I just
YouTube.
need that thing there for hit count at the end of the month.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying, Chris. Okay. So you used it, when you make the hit count statistics, you count the number of hits on both of them.
Yes, because they accumulate.
Because the first one was up there first and got a few hits before you put the correct one up.
Yes, I just didn't take it down. That might have caused some confusion. I
Yeah,
apologize.
I understand. Okay. Anyone have anything else?
Nope, but
I move we
No.
adjourn.
there we go. Second.
Okay, we have
All right.
a motion to adjourn from Bob and a second by Mike, I guess. Thank you all. And
Thank
Gary
you.
asked when the meetings are. Hang on a second. Gary asked when the meetings are. The next meeting is in fact the first Thursday in October, which is October 6th.
All right.
All right.
Sounds good.
All right.
That's
Thank
it.
you all.
We'll try to make
Have a